Hi everybody, this is Michelle with Creative Operation and Country Craft Creations. Welcome to my channel. I have a new design team project walkthrough video for you today, and I'm super excited to be sharing this with you. I am using the Graphic 45 Collection Season to Celebrate, and this project turned out super cute. I'm using a lot of products. I did do a haul video, so I'll link that down below, and then there's also links to all the products that I'm using, plus a couple extras that I got from Country Craft Creations, and if they are still available, because some of them are from past design team projects, if they're still available, I will have links down below as well. So what I ended up making was a year-long project, a 12-month project, 12 folios for every month, and then a beautiful storage box to put them in. And then the storage box, I'll show you that in a second. You've already seen it in the pictures, but it has a acetate window in the front so that your calendar piece will show on the front. And then as you move through the months of the year, you can put the previous calendar in the back, bring the new one forward, and you can have the month showing in the front. So I think it was a really cool project. It's a great project for sharing and holding your memories, but also for a decor piece as well. So I'll show you a couple of these folios here. Well, actually, I'll show them to you all. This is going to be kind of a long walkthrough video, but I wanted to share with you a couple things. So each folio is basically built the same way. There is one difference in each folio that I'll show you in just a second. But I did receive the calendar cards package, the ephemera pieces, and there's 2 of each one for every month. And so this was the front, and I decided to put the calendar on the front, and then on the inside of the folio, that's where I use the other side, or the second one for that. And then each one, if I move this off to the side for just a second, will have flaps that open up. I am using cardstock that I got in my design team package in Ecru, Gold Zinnia, and in Bonsai for each of the different months. And then, so you have lots of room for photos. You have a pocket here, and I did put a cut apart, and then with leftovers in the decorating process, I did use a 4x6 piece of pattern paper left over, and then one of the cut aparts left over to create a little booklet. I used some of the border pieces as decorations, and then like some decorations here, and that will be explained in the tutorial on the leftover pieces from the cut apart papers that I did sprinkle through to use as decoration. Now this is the difference in the folios. So the paper collection is done by season, so spring, summer, fall, and winter. So the winter months, there were cut aparts 4x4, a 3x4, and then a 4x3, and that's what is the difference. So if you look at January here, let me grab the other one because March is actually in the spring. So January I used the 4x4, and then for February, if you open this one up, and you can see that they're pretty much the same except for this, I used the 3x4, and then in December what I did was I used the 4x3. And so that is the difference in these folios. And then that, of course, will be explained in the tutorial. And I am going to show you how to cut out all these papers to make sure that you have enough for every folio. So again, January, February, December are winter months. So that's what February looks like. So we have, I used border strip here, we have 2 of the cut aparts, we have some leftover 3x4 pieces of cardstock that I made for photo mats. I did use seam binding, and I tied it through this little tag that I put in the pocket. I used a piece of the border here to decorate. And then on the fronts of all of these, I did want to show that I did use some dies that I got from Country Craft Creations. They're by Graphic 45, and I did use the corner pieces for those. So I did use all 3 of those, and they are sprinkled around and alternate with the folios. So you can see February here. This one is January. Let me close that up. So it has different photo corners on there. Okay. So anyway, let's go through the calendars here. I'll show you them real quick, and then I'm going to show you the box that I put them in. So January again looks like this. We have our fold outs here. This on this side has another fold out, and then I showed you the extras and the cut apart. Here's a border piece, another photo mat here, and then the postage stamp here. And then the postage stamp is glued so you can tuck a picture in behind, okay? And then I used some of the ribbons that I had in the collection. I used it on the box, which I'll show you in a second, and then I sprinkled them throughout the folio. So no 2 are exactly alike. Here is February, and again, that folds out like so. You have your fold out here. Here is the other little fold out. Border strips here, and then the extra pieces for photo mats. Okay, so there's February. If we go on into March, put this off to the side here, we go into March. Look at the beautiful photo corners there. I just love that. There's the back, then it opens up, and you have this. On this one here, I did add an extra piece of cardstock. I added an extra leftover cut apart. And then on this one, I did put a kind of a belly band feature with the stamp. So you could tuck a picture underneath that behind there. And then, whoops. And then this here, I used a piece of the seam binding, and I just tied it around so you can tuck your picture underneath that seam binding. It's not glued down, it's just tied on there. But I thought that was a pretty way to kind of, I was trying to think of some different ways to use our ribbons. Okay, so there's March, April. Okay, so again, you can see they all have the same features except for this particular one in the middle. That is explained in the video. Border strips here and here to decorate, and then an extra piece of the pattern papers. This one I turned into a tag and then used some of that beautiful ribbon in the tag. Okay. Here's May. I'll go through these kind of quick here, but again, I will talk through everything for the construction and for the cutting of the pattern papers to cut everything. This is another belly band piece. Okay. Isn't that beautiful? There's a lot of them. I wanted to show this, and then you can watch this video again and see where I put things and how I decorated it. There's a bow that I made with the seam binding there in the corner there, and you can put a photo here. Here's an extra piece of cardstock. I used a postage stamp to decorate here, border strip up here, and then the border strips are all done so you could tuck a picture underneath. Okay, so I kind of went back through after I created the folders, and then I kind of decorated with what I had left over with kind of some scraps and bits and pieces. So this one is a cardstock tag, little postage stamp here, and then under here there's a border strip here. Isn't that pretty? I just love how these turned out, and I really tried hard to really use my papers wisely so I could do this entire project with what I had. So here we have the 2 little tags on the inside. Again, another piece of seam binding. I used one of the leftover ephemera pieces and put that there, and then again one of the border pieces there. Okay, so you can watch this video again to kind of see how I decorated. Obviously, decorate the way you want to decorate. September, I just was kind of going through and getting some ideas. On this one, I had an extra piece of the floral pattern paper, so I just created a 4x6 booklet, put the cut apart there, and then again used another little tiny last bit piece I had on that tag, border strip here, and then one of the postage stamps up here. Okay. Isn't that pretty? Most of the patterning will be done during the video. I'm going to show you how to do that. Show you how to cut all of the papers and how to put them together. And again, they're by seasons, so that's how we're going to do it. Just a little photo mat there, border strip here. Okay, isn't that pretty? I love how this turned out, and I did a little bow there. I thought that was really pretty, and I like that there's a little journaling spot here too. So you can put lots of pictures in. They're 1/2 inch wide. And then the folios themselves, I probably should tell you that part too. The folios themselves are 5 by 7 and they have a 1/2 inch gusset. So you have lots of room. You can see I'm holding it closed. There's lots of room to put your photos and stuff in. November here. And I loved the photo corners. Now I did use pearl sheen gold for the photo corners. And there's a photo mat, border strip, another postage stamp, and then another bow tied around this that you could tuck your photo underneath. Okay. So yes, the pearl sheen gold paper from Country Craft Creations is what I used to create the photo corners. And then again, those dies that I showed you. So here is December. Okay, one more time. Again, a pattern paper that I turned into a tag, used the seam binding, and then a border strip here and here. Okay, so those are the folders, and then let me show you how I did the box. So the box is designed to be able to put your photo or your folio in, and then once they're all in there, the folio will show, the front part, Celebrate December, will show through the acetate window, okay? So that's what my idea was for this. To decorate it, I did take a bunch of the seam binding and the ribbons, and I tied the bows around and then hot glued them there. And then I took some of the extra papers that were left over, and I used another graphic 45 die that I got from Country Craft Creations. This is the large tag ATC die with flower dies. So I used the small and the medium flower die, and then I used this leaf die as well for that. And so I made leaves and I kind of layered those around. I made the flowers, and then I used some flat back pearls that were from a previous design team package, along with this one little button right here that was part of a previous design team package. I received this quite a little while ago, so I don't know if it's still available or not, but I still had lots of little embellishments and buttons left over, so that's what I'm using. This is from March of 2022. It was from Forever Friends, the design team package that I used these with. So I had some of those left over. I did ink all of my pattern papers, and I used the Alt New Espresso ink that I did get from a previous design team package from Country Craft Creations. And then the acetate came from Country Craft Creations as well, from a previous design team package. It's the Tonic Studio Craft Perfect Heavyweight Acetate. Okay, everything else came in my design team package. So again, I layered the ribbons and the seam binding here to create kind of a fluffy little bow, made a couple flowers to put here and here, added the leaves, the flat back pearls here, and then I used those in the flowers as well, and then a little button here with the flat back pearl inside that bow for the flower. And then you can see I have the leaves there from the extra pattern paper, and I don't know where all this dust is coming from. It was perfectly undusty till I picked it up. But anyway, I digress. Okay, so there's that. So I also, in my design team package, got the graphic 45 feet, so I used the feet on the box. And then here I just went through and I did layer some of the leftover coordinating solid papers that came with my design team package with the floral paper from the collection, and created the sides to that. I added flat back pearls in the corner. Thought that was really pretty, but that's what it looks like. There is no pattern paper on the bottom, on the outside. On the inside, I used the spring. So this was the summer papers, I believe. Let me double check. Yes, the summer papers, and then the spring I used on the inside for the box. Okay, So I'm going to show you how to do all of that, how to cut the frames for all of this. I'm going to go through all of the pattern paper instructions on how to cut all of the pattern papers with you for every season so that you can make the 3 months that go with each season. And then they all will fit in the box. And as you saw in the other pictures, they will be gorgeous and they will show right through the top of your box. Okay, so that is my design team project for the month of December, and I'm excited to share that with you. So please check out the links below. Go grab all of your products, and I will see you in the next day or so, and I will have your full tutorial ready to go. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. Happy New Year, and I will see you again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.